Hello and welcome to a quick little episode here of The Naked Turner. Hope everybody out there is doing well, staying safe, still continuing to try to bend the curve. I know it is tempting to get out there and do stuff after being locked up and sequestered in your own homes. Just get out and practice social distancing. Don't do anything to expedite the spread of coronavirus. I know some people think it's a hoax, other people think it's, it's going to kill everybody, and I'm hoping that both sides are wrong. I'm hoping we're going to come out somewhere in the middle here where people start wising up and realizing that by opening these states that we have just recently opened, we have seen a new rise and spike in most of those areas. Some areas maybe not as much, and we're not sure exactly why that is. Science changes every nanosecond, so keep adjusting, modifying, and if you really believe in science, you will know that science is not a fixed item. It's constantly moving away from us, and a true scientist will be searching, hunting for the rest of their lives. So just remember, you do your part. You keep searching and hunting for the rest of your lives for true, real information. There's going to be a lot of fake information on both sides just because, like I said, science is constantly changing. I don't blame anyone. We have been undereducated as a world for so long now in order to keep us in our little places and being good consumers that it's going to take some growing here as we come out of this. Hopefully we all grow. Hopefully everybody who has the inclination to gets out and tries to change themselves a little bit in order to make the world a better place. Lots of love to everybody, and let's take a quick little look. Enough of that rant and rave, and believe me, my beliefs change all the time. I have a core value system, but my beliefs change. I allow new information to come into me and I go, wow, that's pretty interesting. I could see that potentially being true. But then I'm always reading between the lines. And you know what usually happens when you read between the lines? You find there's a single finger pointing back at you from either side of the story. So just remember that there's always more than just two sides to a story. And most of the time, the truth is hidden while a story is told, and you do your due diligence and be you, be the best you can be. All right, so what I have chucked up on the lathe here is a glue up of these pieces of plywood. I had these sections of plywood here that were saved as offcuts from a project with a bunch of French cleat systems. So this was the French cleat angle, and these were all these offcuts. So I saved them from this job. They've been glued together into these longer sticks, like a millefleur kind of stick. And those are then chopped into these pieces that are about, what is this, inch and 3/8. Inch and 3/8 or so thick. And that was just because that's what I had. I actually ended up one of these short. I thought I had just enough, but I ended up losing one that I thought I was going to get. That particular rod was just a little bit shorter, so I wasn't able to get one out of it. And I ended up with another little chunk like this, just a little bit bigger. Anyway, what I did was split one in half and put them both right there. That gets me out to a fairly consistent size. I'm not sure if I'm going to leave these edges. I probably won't. I think I'm going to turn a circle into this. This will be the bottom. The other side will be the top. The darkening you hear is some vulcanization that I did yesterday. There are a few voids, and I'll be working on filling those in later. But to get started with, I'm going to make a mortise down here in order to grab this from. And because it is segmented, it's a little bit risky doing this, but I'm hoping to stabilize the inside of that hole really well with some CA glue. And this has had a chance to dry up overnight, so it's been drying now for over 12 hours. That's thin. Pull my emergency shut off over here to the other side. in case. Move this out of the way. All right. Looking good. Nice and balanced. First thing I'm going to do is flatten it off. Increasing the speed just a little for my, there's air gapping right here. So I'm increasing the speed for the end of my cut though. And one of these cubes I messed up on. These are very, very challenging to get. Your eyes start playing tricks on you, and what I should have done was done a registration mark on every one of these before I started. Just a little tip, pick an edge that you're going to call your top edge, like say like this. Pick an edge and make sure you have them all oriented the same way, because somewhere in here, and I can't really see it right now, but there's one that is turned the wrong way. Even though it still gives the same illusion, the grain is running the wrong way on one of them. So take your time, make some registration marks or some witness marks on there, and then that way you'll be able to glue it up a little bit better and not run into the problem that I ran into. Okay, so now coming in out here, give it a spin, backing up a hair. Okay, and I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to take off, so I might take looks at it as I go. Yeah, I'm going to be taking it down until it's a circle, because otherwise I'm going to get too much of this kind of plywood edges and lots of sanding and getting rid of glue, so it'll be easier. All right, so let's turn up the speed a little bit. There we go. I'm standing back behind the trajectory of any object that might be flying out of it. A little bit. Take a look. I think there's still 2 more flat spots. Yeah, these little flat spots. Boom, 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 boom. So I got another 1/4 inch to go. Oops. Okay, let's got that. And now, here. All right, so this is extremely, dusty. I lost a piece right here. Where did it go? I'm gonna see if I can find that piece so I can glue it back in, but probably won't be able to. Okay, so I didn't find the piece, but I'm going to use this little chunk that I have left over. I'm gluing that in there, trying it out with some CA glue. If worse comes to worse, I'll carefully maybe sculpt from this side down to that point. But I'm going to see if I can get a little more out of this. This particular block doesn't match this exact piece's pattern. As you can see, this was a V. This one is coming in as a V first, as a chevron, but then this one's coming in vertically. I'm going to do it anyway, because like I said, somewhere within the body of this, there is a piece that's already a little wacky. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to let this set up, and then I'm going to take my Japanese saw and I'll cut it off and then try to reshape it carefully without chipping that piece off. And I'm going to set this piece aside just in case I might need one of these other corners. Okay, so now what I will do is take my sanding block to do a little bit of this first. Get rid of those two edges. Okay, there we go. Now, let's try that again. All right, zooming out. And okay, so let's try this again here. Okay, so I got to take a little more right there, get back. It looks like I'm going to be taking almost all of that, it looks like. Let's bring this in. take a look at that. Okay, everywhere else pretty good. I got a little shaping right there. Whoops. Alright, I think I might have just got there. Oh, just a tiny bit more. Alright, coming in. See if I can get away with that. Okay, it looks like that is now gone. And what I'll do is clean that edge up like this. And now like this. Try to stay out of your way here. See if I like that. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, now a bunch of sanding, which means I'm going to go a little deeper on my mortise. I will be doing quite a bit of sanding. I'll just be going slightly deeper on the mortise. Alright, so I just sanded it and then buffed it with Yorkshire grit, and now I'm getting ready to put some polyurethane on it. But first, I want to buff it one more time here with a real clean rag. Get it nice and clean and nice and warm. All right, I got this thing flipped around. Spinning up around 1600 to start out with. All right, so what I'm doing now is taking a piece of cotton with a piece of paper towel behind it so I don't get this stuck to my finger, because I will be putting quite a bit on. And I'm applying, I put one coat of thin CA, and now I'll be putting another coat. let that cure up. See if I got any. Pretty good. Let's see if I can, yeah. There's the one I put in slightly wrong. Still looks good, but this should have been spun. Should have been spun. That should have been the top. Those two should have been. But anyway, the illusion is there, and it's pretty fun. Hope you enjoyed this episode of The Naked Turner. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, like, and share. And if you're not a subscriber, become a subscriber. You might find some stuff on my channel that you enjoy. Thank you. A new little Escher style plate I just made out of Baltic birch plywood. It's coming out pretty cool. Alright, so I just put 5 coats of thin on this, and it's looking pretty sweet. I'm going to do a final buff on this with some micro abrasive Yorkshire grit, and that'll get rid of any of the little pieces of dust or whatever that might have stuck to this. But that turned out absolutely fabulous. Hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.